Good morning. My name is Ms. Niznik, and I teach Algebra 1 and ELD. Today I'm going to be looking over day 31 of our new AMI packet. As many of you guys already know, the AMI packet is changing just a little bit for the final weeks of school. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be working to combine English language arts, social studies, science, and math to work on one big project instead of individualized assignments for each one. At the end of the school year, you're going to compile all of the information that you do over the next couple weeks and share it with your teachers, classmates, or anyone else that you want to. And the first day, the first one that you're going to contribute to your final project is right here. The big idea for today is, how has your family been affected by the pandemic? Also, this is Olive. She won't get off my lap, so she'll be joining us for this video. She's very sweet, very loving, very needy. So today we're going to be looking at this article analysis. This week you will reflect on how COVID-19 has affected your family, but first you will read about how it has affected other families. For today's assignments, read the article Alone No More and complete the questions. That article, Alone No More, will be at the back of this packet at the very end. And it says you'll learn about how more families are adopting pets than ever, which is great. Obviously, I love animals, and it makes me so happy to know that these families are finding a home for the pets that need them. So this says, right now in the news, there are many articles that include graphs and other data representations. Take some time to look at them carefully and talk about what they represent and how they are organized. Is there anything you notice or wonder about them? What can you infer from this? What does this make you want to know more about? How does this relate to your family? Okay, she's gone. How does this relate to your life as a family? And see the example graph. So the example graph over here says states that are better and worse, excuse me, at social distancing based on changes in distance traveled. So if you'll notice, they made this better a little bit lighter color. So as I look at the graph, I am led to believe that the lighter colored graphs are the states that are better at social distancing, and the darker colored states on the graph are going to be worse at social distancing. And we've got a key right here. It looks like the lighter colored states like California, Texas, Minnesota, Illinois, have decreased their distances traveled by 40% or more. Whereas the darker colored states, like Wyoming, have only decreased their distances traveled by 10% or less. So if we look across here, this is percent change in distance traveled from pre-COVID-19. So it looks like these lighter states have done more social distancing, and the darker states have done less social distancing. So is there anything that you want to learn from this graph? Is there anything that you notice or wonder about them? I wonder why Wyoming has traveled so much. There's been, how do I want to say this? There has been less of a change in the distances traveled. I wonder if they are choosing to travel less, or if they didn't travel very much in the first place. Those are some questions that you can ask. What does it make you want to know more about? When you look at this, maybe you could wonder of how these states who have social distanced more, if they are actually seeing an increase or decrease in cases of COVID-19. So you've got a lot to look at there and a lot to wonder about, and I want you to answer those questions and enter it into your final product. So it says, how has your family changed during this pandemic? Are you spending more time with your family? Have you adopted a pet? How have you guys changed? Use the information from the graph analysis and the pet article to respond for your final product. I want to encourage you guys to look at these other resources. I'll click on them both and just give a general idea of what's happening in them. Now, this first one is a graphic, and it changes over time. So it's talking about flattening the curve and what that means. So the first graphic shows over time the cases of COVID-19 in the United States. And you can tell around March 1st, 2nd, there's a large spike in cases. Now we know since March 13th, there have been many more cases of coronavirus in the United States. I'll talk about an exponential curve. And down here they have a fake disease stimulitis, and how when someone comes in contact with someone who already has the coronavirus, how the disease can spread. So if you'll notice, the first graph that they have just shows how over time the disease can spread from person to person through contact. And this is only with 200 people, assuming that the disease transfers from each person. The bronze dots represent people who are sick. The purple dots represent the people who are recovered. And the green dots, which we don't have anymore at this time, are the healthy people. So in this simulation, the number of people who are sick grows until they start recovering. And at this point, almost everyone is sick. And this is the curve that we're talking about wanting to flatten. So in these other simulations, you can see what happens with forced quarantine. All of the people on the left side of the graph are quarantined, at least for a little while. I want you guys to watch that and see what happens and how we can flatten the curve. The next graph represents what happens when we social distance, when we're not quarantined, but we just try to come in contact with fewer people. And I'll let you guys watch that and see how that curve is flattened. I'll let you guys look at the New York Times article on your own. But as always, please reach out to your teachers if there's anything we can do to help. If you would like some guidance as you're looking over these graphics, we would love to help you, and we're excited to see how you guys learn and grow from this project over the next couple of weeks. As always, please reach out to me or to your math teacher if there's anything that we can do to help. Again, all of your teachers, not just math, are here for you and would love to guide you through this project. Take care, and I hope you guys have a great day.